Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher, a Marine veteran, served in Iraq, member of the House Armed Services Committee. And, sir, thank you for your time and coming back here. Yesterday, Anthony Blinken said the Taliban are not permitting the charter flights to depart. I don't know what you expected. 24 hours later, however, it appears some people are leaving. What is your read of the situation now?
Well, it appears we're in the midst of what is an unprecedented hostage situation. I mean, these people aren't guests of the emir. They are hostages right now. And the price for getting our people out is going to be millions of dollars to the Taliban and international recognition. That's what I fear is coming next. It's not only a hostage situation, it's setting us up for a massive ransom payment to terrorists. And I'm also hearing multiple reports from private efforts on the ground, really heroic efforts to get people out with private charter flights, that the State Department is still, in many ways, an obstacle. The State Department is telling these flights, don't expect any help from the United States government. So we find ourselves in this crazy position of being entirely dependent on our new security partner in Afghanistan, the Taliban, whose new government has much in common with the old in terms of the radicals and the fundamentalists and the terrorist sympathizers that are part of the new government.
Right, they were just sitting on the bench for 20 years and now they're back. Do you have any constituents who are hostages over there, as you would put it, hostages or stranded, or any people that you are in your constituency who served and they have their interpreters who are there and stuck?
I have constituents who have concerns about interpreters that are stuck in the country and have been dealing with that for the last 3 weeks. And I think even more to the point, I have constituents that were wounded in that attack at the Kabul airport. Just a tragic attack that we saw. And that's why I think it's so offensive as we see this new inclusive Taliban government being formed. Well, it's inclusive in the sense that it includes the world's worst terrorists. It includes specially designated global terrorists who work with al-Qaeda. It includes many of the same Taliban leaders who were there prior to 9/11. And it includes 5 of the former Guantanamo Bay detainees who former President Obama traded for Bo Bergdahl in 2014. So meet the new Taliban, same as the old Taliban who enabled al-Qaeda to attack us 20 years ago on 9/11.
Well, just to drive home the point, the Secretary of Defense yesterday pretty much said al-Qaeda's coming back. So we got that to look forward to. Meanwhile, you put out a strongly worded statement against Anthony Fauci. And later today at 5 o'clock, the president's going to announce, I guess, 6 pillars, the White House is calling it, to try and fight back against Delta and the variants that may follow. Why the fire Fauci moment today, sir?
Well, we now have a release of 900 pages of documents that provide a smoking gun that Dr. Fauci repeatedly lied to Congress and the American people about his organization's support for dangerous gain-of-function research in Wuhan. And therefore, having lied to Congress, he must resign immediately. But that's not enough. His resignation,
that's a strong allegation. Where was the lie to Congress?
The lie, in a letter, a response to me, to questions that I posed to him, he said none of the research involved altering the viruses to make them more transmissible or pathogenic. Now, based on this document declassification, we know, based on research summation by Peter Daszak, the head of EcoHealth Alliance, which received millions of dollars from Fauci, we know they combined spike proteins from one coronavirus with another coronavirus. They pumped it through mice with humanized lungs. And then when they tried to do therapeutics on those mice, including monoclonal antibodies, the mice were resistant. So they did exactly what Fauci said they didn't do. They made a naturally occurring virus stronger and more pathogenic. So that is why Fauci must resign. If nothing else, he's lost the faith of the American people and can't be the face of this next phase of fighting the pandemic. And I know these are different topics that may seem, Afghanistan and Fauci, but they have one thing in common, which is a failure to admit mistakes. If we don't admit and understand our mistakes, whether it's Biden bungling the Afghanistan withdrawal or Fauci funding dangerous research in Wuhan, we're doomed to repeat those mistakes. And if we don't get to the bottom of this pandemic, we will not be able to prevent the next pandemic.
We'll see if he responds. We'll pay attention to that. Of course, the speech today that President Biden is giving is scheduled for 5 o'clock. Congressman Gallagher, thank you.